So, I wanted to start today with a really specific feeling, a very modern feeling, I think.
Yeah.
It's that sensation, where you wake up and on paper, everything's right. You got your 8 hours. Your watch gives you a great readiness score.
Right. You should be fresh.
You should be, but you just feel heavy.
And it's not that soreness you get after a good workout or a long hike.
Yeah.
It's not physical.
No, it's much quieter. It's almost like a sediment has settled in your bones, like silt. You get up, you do the work, you answer emails, you smile at people, but you feel like a ghost, just sort of haunting your own life.
That is such a distinct state. It's the difference between being present and just functioning.
Functioning, exactly. The lights are on, but nobody's home.
Right. And the standard advice we all get and what we tell ourselves is that this means the tank is empty.
The tank is empty, you're a battery at 0%, so the logic is you have to refill it.
Take a vacation, get more sleep, do some self-care, whatever that is this week. It's a very mechanical view of a person.
Right, like we're iPhones that just need to be plugged in.
Yeah.
But this is where I want to shift gears because the perspective we're digging into today, it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
We're looking at burnout through a Gestalt psychology lens. And its core idea is that this empty tank metaphor.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental error. It's not just off, it's completely wrong.
It is. And it's fascinating because it completely flips the script on how you recover. The whole premise is that burnout isn't about running out of energy. It's about frozen energy.
Frozen. Okay, you have to unpack that for me. Because when I feel burnt out, I feel empty. I feel like there's nothing left.
I know it feels that way, but the energy is there. It's just trapped. See, if you think of yourself as a reservoir that drains, the solution is always add more.
Pour in more sleep, pour in more leisure.
Exactly. But if you see burnout as a blockage, like an overcrowding of your psyche, then just adding more rest doesn't solve the actual problem. It's what Gestalt calls a perceptual emergency, not a physical failure.
A perceptual emergency. So it's about how we see things, how we process the world, not just how tired our bodies are.
Precisely. To get it, we have to look at, well, the architecture of awareness. It's all about figure and ground.
Oh, wait, is that like the vase and the two faces thing from, Psych 101?
That's the one. That's the classic visual for it. But we apply that to your inner life. In a healthy state, your awareness is fluid. A need, let's say thirst, arises from the background.
The ground.
Right. The thirst becomes the figure. It gets your attention. You drink some water. The need is met. And poos, the figure dissolves back into the ground.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm hungry. I eat. The hunger's gone. It's a rhythm.
A rhythm, a cycle. Things come up, get dealt with, and recede. But in burnout, that rhythm breaks. The figure gets stuck.
Somehow.
It arises, but you don't address it. Maybe you can't, or you're not allowed to. So it doesn't dissolve. It just stays there, frozen in the foreground.
I heard an analogy for this that really clicked for me. It's like your psyche is a room. In a healthy state, people, your thoughts, needs, feelings, they come into the room, they say their piece, and they leave. The door works.
The traffic flows.
Yeah.
Sadness comes in, delivers its message, and leaves.
But in burnout, the door jams.
The door jams shut. And so you have unfinished conversations, frustrations you suppressed months ago. They're all still in there. And new people keep showing up at the door.
It's just overcrowding.
Yes.
And that explains why just resting doesn't work. It's why you can go lie on a beach in Hawaii, but if your mind, that room is still packed with deadlines and unexpressed anger, you're not resting.
Not at all. You're just sitting quietly in a very loud, very crowded room. Your internal field is saturated with noise. That's the definition here. Burnout isn't emptiness, it's saturation.
You're not empty, you're full of things with nowhere to go.
That's it.
That's why you can come back from vacation more tired than when you left. You just press pause, not clear.
Exactly.
So let's get mechanical. How does this actually happen in real time? I mean, I don't choose to hoard my frustrations.
It happens in these tiny micro moments, so fast you don't even notice. We call it a blocked contact cycle.
Okay, so give me an example, like the classic horrible work meeting scenario.
Perfect, yes. You're in a meeting, it's 4 p.m., your manager puts up a slide with a project timeline that is just objectively impossible.
I'm already stressed just thinking about it. My shoulders are up by my ears.
Right. So notice what happens inside you. Your body is honest, your stomach tightens, your jaw clenches, your organism is mobilizing energy to reject this. The figure is, no, this is impossible.
That's the internal reality, the truth of the moment.
But externally, what do?
I smile, I nod, I say, sure thing, we'll make it work.
And that is the moment of the freeze. That's the block cycle. The energy mobilized to say no was interrupted by censorship. A little voice saying, don't rock the boat, or I have to be a team player.
So what happens to that energy, the energy that wanted to scream no? Where does it go?
This is the key. It's a concept called retroflexion. The energy doesn't vanish, you just turn it inward, against yourself.
Retroflexion. That sounds painful. So the scream becomes, what, a stomach ache?
Literally.
Yeah.
Or a tension headache. Or grinding your teeth at night. But psychologically, it turns into self-doubt. Why can't I handle this? I must be the problem. You take the aggression meant for the deadline and you attack yourself with it.
Wow. So you're essentially beating yourself up to keep the peace in the meeting.
Yeah. Yes. You do that once, fine.
Yeah.
But we do this 20, 30 times a day for years.
That accumulation.
It kills you. You clog your whole perceptual field. Eventually, wanting anything feels dangerous, so you just stop. You enter this limbo where you're highly functional, but profoundly disconnected.
The ghost in the machine. I'm here, but I have left the building.
Exactly. And when you hold on to that much, you get what's called perceptual gridlock.
Like traffic.
Kind of. Normally, there's a hierarchy. House is on fire, that's the figure. Everything else fades. But in burnout, the hierarchy collapses. The email, the laundry, the existential dread.
They're all screaming at the same volume. Oh, I know that feeling. When you drop a spoon and you just will cry because it's one more thing.
That's the gridlock. And it's made worse by something called the Zeigarnik effect, which says your brain holds on to incomplete tasks or unexpressed emotions way tighter than completed ones. It's like having 50 tabs open on your browser.
And eventually the whole system just slows to a crawl.
Right. But there's an even deeper level to this, about identity. It's a concept called confluence.
Confluence. What does that mean?
It's when the boundary between two things dissolves. In burnout, it's the boundary between you and your role.
Ah. So instead of, I am a person who is currently doing a job, it becomes...
That's the job. You stop being a subject who has experiences and become an object to be managed.
Ooh, an object to be managed. That rings so true. It's like, how much caffeine do I need to input to get the desired output?
You are optimizing a machine. And that's where it gets kind of philosophical. It touches on Viktor Frankl's existential vacuum and Sartre's idea of bad faith.
Okay, those are some heavy hitters. Why bring them into this?
Because the insight is that the crisis is ontological. It's a crisis of being. Bad faith is about lying to yourself to escape the burden of freedom. When we say, I have to do this, I have no choice, we're denying our own agency. We're deciding it's safer to disappear into our function than to show up as a person with needs and limits.
That is a lot. It's not just weakness, it's a loss of self.
It's okay. We're full of frozen energy, treating ourselves like objects. Our internal room is a mess. How do we fix it?
Well, this leads to the paradox of healing.
The paradox being, if I'm so overloaded, shouldn't the answer be to do less?
And you might need to do less, practically. But the psychological path back isn't subtraction. It's about feeling more.
Feeling more. To be honest, that sounds exhausting. When I'm burnt out, I want to feel less. I want to numb out.
I know, it does, right? But remember, the exhaustion comes from the constant effort of suppression.
Holding the beach ball underwater.
Exactly. So healing isn't refilling the tank, it's thawing the ice. It's about re-engaging with the living edge of experience. So how do we start thawing? Do I just quit my job and scream at my boss?
No, please don't do that. Not right away. That's usually just an explosion. The remedy begins with one very specific, radical question.
Which is,
what am I not allowing myself to feel right now?
what am I not allowing myself to feel? Not what do I need to do?
No, it's about feeling. And this leads to what we call micro acts of presence.
Okay, walk me through that. How do I do that in the moment without getting fired?
Back to the meeting, the impossible deadline. Your instinct is to numb out and nod. The micro act of presence is to just acknowledge the internal reality. To yourself.
So not flipping the table.
No. You just say to yourself, I am angry right now. I feel a knot in my stomach. I strongly disagree with this.
Just acknowledging it to myself, that's it.
It sounds small, but it's revolutionary for your nervous system. By acknowledging the truth, you complete the Gestalt psychologically. You allow the anger to form clearly. You stop retroflecting it. You just say, I see you.
So you're validating your own reality. Even if you can't change the external one in that second, you stop gaslighting yourself.
Exactly. The release comes from telling the truth. The figure dissolves. It doesn't get stored in the room. Energy is liberated, not replenished. You're unlocking the energy you were using to jam the door shut.
That's a huge shift. You're reclaiming the energy you were using to suppress yourself.
Yes. And it doesn't mean you have to act on every impulse. You might still do the project, but you do it knowing it's unreasonable, rather than pretending it's fine. That preserves your sanity. It keeps the boundary between you and the role.
It sounds like it takes a different kind of courage. It's easier to just be a robot sometimes.
It is much easier in the short term, but the robot always breaks down. Being human requires what you might call a systemic rebellion.
I love that. Systemic rebellion.
It's an internal movement. Burnout feeds on our willingness to disappear into function. So reclaiming your attention, just stopping to notice what you actually feel, it's an act of sovereignty. It's resistance.
It's saying, I am not just a machine. I am a place where things happen.
Yes. It brings us back to Frankl. Even when circumstances are trapped, the freedom to choose your attitude, to attend to your inner world, that's the one thing no one can take.
I think a lot of people listening might be feeling like, well, like burnout is a failure, that they weren't strong enough.
And this perspective says absolutely not. It reframes burnout as a threshold, or even a breakthrough.
A breakthrough seems generous.
It's a signal. It's your organism shouting that the old way of organizing yourself is no longer sustainable. It's a demand for an upgrade in your integrity. Your whole system is saying, we are not doing this anymore.
So hitting the wall isn't just hitting a wall. The wall is telling you to find a door.
It's telling you that the confluence has to end. You have to emerge again as a distinct person.
This has been, wow. It completely shifts the goal. The goal isn't to get back to 100% so I can work harder.
No.
The goal is to get back to being a person who can feel things. The goal is aliveness.
That's it. The goal isn't optimization, it's aliveness.
So for everyone listening who feels that sediment in their bones, the challenge is different.
The challenge is to stop trying to optimize your recovery and just start getting curious. Curious about the next feeling that arises. When you turn this off, just ask, what is actually happening inside me right now?
And don't judge it.
Don't judge it. Don't even fix it. Just see it.
Because the energy isn't lost. It's just waiting for you to say, I see you.
It's waiting for the door to open.
I think we'll leave it there. That's a lot to think about. Thanks for diving in with us.
A pleasure.
Catch you next time.